Hello and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News on this Wednesday, March 4th. I'm Grant Olson. Here are some of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. In a unanimous vote Tuesday, the East Wenatchee City Council approved a new banner policy that will remove pride banners from city-sponsored displays. The killer of a young mother in Moses Lake has entered a plea in her death. Expect cloudy and windy weather conditions through the weekend and into early next week. Your full local weather forecast is straight ahead. Fewer people reported living without shelter in Chelan and Douglas counties at this year's point-in-time homelessness count, but fewer people agreed to be surveyed. In the January survey, a total of 93 people reported sleeping somewhere that is not ordinarily used for permanent shelter, like the outdoors, in a tent, or in an abandoned building, down from the previous year by almost 11%. Nearly 400 people surveyed stayed in some kind of emergency shelter or transitional housing program, a 14% decrease from the previous year. However, for the second year in a row, organizers are concerned over the declining number of respondents. Madison Calloway, Chelan County's homeless program supervisor, said that this year's point-in-time count was held at a new location rather than the Lighthouse Christian Ministries soup kitchen, which might have led to fewer respondents. The city of Wenatchee revoked the soup kitchen's conditional use permit in 2025 due to nuisance complaints from local businesses. Lighthouse is currently suing over the matter. The Common Ground Community Housing Trust is accepting applications for its affordable homes on 9th Street in Wenatchee. The Crail Cottages are what the organization calls permanently affordable and developed under its Community Land Trust model. The homes are set at $180,000 for one-bedroom units and $207,000 for two-bedroom units. Eligible applicants must have a household income at or below 120% of the Greater Wenatchee area median income, live or work in the Greater Wenatchee area, be a first-time home buyer, and be able to obtain a mortgage for purchase. Applications will be accepted until March 31st, and a lottery process will likely be used to select the top 8 eligible applicants. In a unanimous vote Tuesday, the East Wenatchee City Council approved a new banner policy that will remove pride banners from city-sponsored displays despite public outcry. More than 30 people attended Tuesday's City Council meeting in support of keeping the existing policy, which allowed nonprofits and other groups to submit banners that matched a pre-approved list of themes. One of these was North Central Washington Equity Alliance's diversity banners, which would hang from city light poles in the month of June. Many residents accuse the council of catering to bigotry with the decision. The new policy states that the city will provide its own banners for a pre-approved list of city events and federal holidays, including Independence Day, Memorial Day, and events like Classy Chassis or the Pangborn Festival of Flight. The Washington State Legislature has passed a bill to ban law enforcement officers from wearing face coverings. Senate Bill 5855 passed the House yesterday 56-37 with no Republican support. 12th District Representative Brian Burnett, a Republican who was the Chelan County Sheriff for 12 years, said the new legislation, quote, prioritized political messaging over officer safety. Burnett also said the bill could make it harder to retain and recruit officers. The bill was proposed by Democrats as a response to the use of masks by ICE and other immigration enforcement agencies. In a statement today, Governor Bob Ferguson said he looked forward to signing the bill once it reached his desk. When we come back, Our Valley, Our Future is in its 10th year of helping to guide the growth of Wenatchee Valley communities, and a hole in the bridge deck has closed a small section of Interstate 90 east of George. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Somewhere behind these doors is a family member, often alone, taking care of a loved one with Alzheimer's or some other disability, or providing care for a loved one who is not ill but only aging and no longer able to care for themselves. In the field of caregiving, this is the home front. For the home is where most Americans will live out their last days. Contact Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington for a variety of services including caregiving, meals, and medication help. This March, Lake Chelan welcomes food and wine lovers to an unforgettable experience. Taste Chelan. Chelan Valley's top wineries and restaurants create the perfect pairing of fine wines and culinary delights. With 4 weekends to explore, every visit offers something fresh and exciting. From your first sip to the last bite, every moment is a delicious adventure. But don't wait, tickets are selling fast. Visit tastechelan.com today.
Highlander Golf Course and Grill, your place for fun, food, and friends. Happy hour every day, 2 to 7. Try their brand new menu and famous prime rib every Saturday night. Planning a celebration? Book your holiday party, wedding, or private event, even in their exclusive simulator rooms. Highlander Golf Course and Grill, where every day is a celebration. Visit today.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
The killer of a young mother in Moses Lake has entered a plea in her death. 31-year-old Juan Ismael Gustelum Jr. pleaded guilty in Grant County Superior Court to a charge of second-degree murder with sexual motivation. His victim, Yanira Cedillos, disappeared in March 2022 after celebrating her 30th birthday. She was still missing a week later when authorities announced they'd arrested Gustelum, a former boyfriend, in his hometown of Hermiston, Oregon. Cedillo's body was found that May in Walla Walla County, and Gustelum was accused of murdering her in her apartment before transporting her body. He could spend life in prison for the crime. No sentencing date has been scheduled. Our Valley, Our Future is in its 10th year of helping to guide the growth of Wenatchee Valley communities. That means it's time to begin work on its third 5-year action plan, looking at the economic, social needs, environment, and wellness in Chelan and Douglas counties. Executive Director Rachel Evie says a public survey in both English and Spanish will help develop the plan, which covers the years 2027 through 2031. You can contribute to that survey by using the QR code you see on your screen. More than 20 organizations from Chelan and Douglas counties have signed on as official project partners for the effort, including Catholic Charities, the Chelan County PUD, Chelan Douglas Health District, and Wenatchee Valley College. A hole in the bridge deck has closed a small section of Interstate 90 east of George. The Washington Department of Transportation says the hole was noticed this afternoon in the overpass at exit 154 in Adams Road, about 5 miles east of town. Both east and westbound lanes of I-90 were closed and traffic was diverted around the work zone by the frontage road. The DUT said there's no set time scheduled for reopening. Coming up next, the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center's rotating gallery has a new location for the next 2 years. We'll tell you about it coming up in tonight's feature story. Mountain snow through the week could make for winter driving conditions over area passes. I'll have your local weather details coming up, along with Dan Kuntz with a look at all things sports as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues after these messages.
You build more than projects. You build what communities rely on. When the job site runs on results, put Kubota to work. Backed by expert service and support from your local Kubota dealer. Right now, bring home select Kubota KX Series with 0% financing available or save up to $4,800.
You trust the same doctor for your health and the same dentist for your smile. Trust Global Car Care to keep your vehicle running strong. We track your car's history so it gets the right care at the right time. With our 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on parts and labor, you'll drive away with confidence. Global Car Care, your automotive experts. We service all makes and models, but specialize in Sprinter vans, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, and BMW. Call or visit us today.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCWLIFE. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
The Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center's rotating gallery has a new location for the next 2 years, and it's just down the street from the building it's called home for the last 8 decades. The temporary gallery is set up inside the site of the former Chase Bank at 30 South Mission Street. The museum's collections will be stored at the former Valley Academy building, and other events will be hosted at the Wells House and Wenatchee Valley College. The relocation is part of the museum's $30 million expansion and renovation project, which will officially begin in mid-May. The temporary gallery will open to the public this Friday to debut the 47th Annual Regional Art Show and the Beauty of Bronze Showcase. NCWLIFE News spoke with Museum Executive Director Mariah Thornock inside the new space about what visitors can expect for the next 2 years.
Figuring out and understanding how to move all of the different departments and activities of the museum has been a multi-year process. We really did start off with a fool's errand of thinking that we were going to find a location where we could move our collection, have a makerspace, have a gallery, have all of our staff, and about a year and a half ago came to the realization that there isn't another place like the museum, that we can have 120,000 items stored in our collection while upstairs there's summer camps going on and next door there's exhibits. There isn't any other place like that in Wenatchee. So we then looked for what are we looking for when it comes to being able to store our collections. It's very different from a space. How are we going to gather people together and have a lecture or have a film series? And then this space was really the last part that we secured, and it was just over the Christmas holiday that we walked in here, and it was one of those like magic fit of big wide open spaces. Our gallery walls will be able to move around. There was a big bank teller desk here, and so we've had to do some work to make it feel less like a bank and more like a museum, and I think over the next couple of months people will see that as we refine the space. But it'll be then our job to point arrows. If they come here, send them on their way up to the college to be a part of a program, or let them know where their kids are going to go to summer camp. And our work the next 2 years is just continuing to let the community know that we're still here. We're just a museum in the community now. One of the reasons why we worked first on relocating our collection is because it is the thing that needs to be prepped the most purposefully. So we've spent the better part of the last year inventorying the collection, wrapping it in acid-free foam, placing it into acid-free boxes. We've been working with the Wenatchee Tech Center out at Old Station to have those students build crates for us. And so our gallery right now is filled with these huge stacks of wood crate sides that snap together, and items will be carefully placed in those crates, closed up, and then transported out. So much different than maybe you'd pack your kitchen up with, where you just dump everything into a regular old box. We've had to take a lot of care with the materials and how things are wrapped and how things are being transported. Behind us here is actually where we're going to locate our maker space. So if you took part in our 3D printing class, we're still going to be able to do that. You're going to do that back here. Or if you took place in the adult beauty of bronze, that's going to be taking place back here. We'll probably do things more frequently with smaller groups because we have just smaller venues that we're working with. But then we're also putting on a lot of tours that are going to go out through the community. I think that there is so many different components to this project, from where we're going to be to the next 2 years, to what our exhibits are, to how the project is being funded. It's being funded in large part by community donations and gifts. What our timeline is for all of this, I would just encourage people to go to our website. On our website, we have some pages that are dedicated to telling the story, and anybody that would like to be involved, either giving their time, helping to package up the museum, to donating to the project, especially if there's a particular exhibit they'd like to see happen, or their talents. If they're deep in history, art, and culture and want to be a part of that, now is a great time to engage with the museum.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a fantastic Wednesday. Nice and mild out there once again today, but a lot of cloud cover, as you can see as we look outside our weather window today. And I'm just going to get out of the way of this beautiful shot. That is our Hay Canyon tower camera, and providing just that beautiful shot of the dramatic cloud cover over the Cascades with Kashmir there in the forefront. And it was that kind of day around North Central Washington, with clouds, a little bit of a breeze, even to windy conditions in some locations. And what we're thinking about now, or talking about, is snow, and that is possible in our mountain passes. And that's going to go all the way through this week into Friday, on and off snow showers. We're talking winter driving conditions, and that includes Snoqualmie and Stevens passes. So if you are heading west of the Cascades, you're going to run into some winter travel both tonight, tomorrow, and probably once again into Friday. All right, high temperature today unofficially 52 degrees at Pangbourne Airport. 48 is our normal high for this time of year, and 61 our record, and that was set back in 2012. Look at that overnight low, very mild, 41 degrees, 10 degrees above where we should be for this time of year at 31, and our record low for the second day in a row from 2019 at 4 degrees. Sunrise 6:35 this morning and set at 5:51. All right, taking you into your Thursday forecast. Temperatures are going to cool off just a little bit tomorrow. 53s for Moses Lake and Ephrata, 52 for Quincy, 50 degrees in Wenatchee, about 51 for Chelan, and 49s tomorrow for both Leavenworth and for Kashmir. So temperatures down just a little from what we've seen the last couple of days. All right, getting you into tonight, we expect mostly cloudy skies, big area of high pressure off the coast of Oregon and California, but we're seeing a lot of moisture and clouds rolling down the edge of that high pressure, and that could kick off a few showers. We'll see some breezy conditions tonight, lows in the mid to upper 30s for your Thursday. Yeah, breezy conditions once again right here in North Central Washington. Partly cloudy skies for tomorrow with high temperatures right around that 50-degree mark. So temperatures still just slightly above normal on Thursday. Keep in mind through all this, our normal high right now is 48. Cloudy skies for Friday, maybe an isolated shower or two for us Friday afternoon. We will warm up too with high temperatures Friday into the mid-50s, and then getting into this weekend, expect some windy conditions. We're going to see that on Saturday, mostly cloudy skies once again. Dual areas of high pressure though will keep us mainly dry on Saturday. We will warm up some more with that wind. We're talking upper 50s for high temperatures on Saturday, and then daylight saving time on Sunday, and it's going to be cloudy and boy, very windy on Sunday, and that'll keep us nice and warm with high temperatures to end the weekend right around 60 degrees. Can you believe that? Well above normal. And then as we get into our next work week, we're going to stick with that wind right along the Cascades on Monday. Cloudy, a 30% chance of, yes, rain possibly mixed with snow on Monday right here in the Wenatchee area. We will cool down a bunch bunch, too. Mid to upper 40s for high temperatures on Monday. And then for Tuesday, mostly cloudy skies. We'll see some breezy conditions once again with still that strong westerly flow that could bring us again rain mixed with snow on Tuesday with high temperatures only in the mid-40s. Time now for your 7-day forecast brought to you by Colonial Vista Senior Living in Wenatchee, where comfort, care, and community come together. 37 overnight tonight, partly cloudy and breezy, 50 degrees tomorrow. Maybe an isolated shower or two on Friday, but we'll see a slow warm-up beginning on Friday, 55. And both Saturday and Sunday, we could see breezy conditions, but look at those high temperatures into the upper 50s, and then a cool down as we get you into Monday and Tuesday, a 30% chance for rain mixed with snow. High temperatures next week only in the mid to upper 40s. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Dan Kuntz and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
NCWLIFE Channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCWLIFE would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
A kitchen that makes mouths water and jaws drop. A bedroom from a dream with a bath from a spa. A walk-in you'd never want to walk out of. A pool like the fountain of youth. And a view that never gets old. When buying or selling a home of the highest standards, it's comforting to be represented by a real estate company with standards to match. Coldwell Banker Global Luxury. Live well with Coldwell.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellington here from Live It Up. In the investment world, ROI stands for Return on Investment. Well, how does better health, better wealth, and better relationships sound for ROI? Join us every week right here on NCWLIFE and learn how to invest in the most important asset, you.
We're going to answer your questions and provide some weekly inspiration so you can create a life that you love. Join us on Live It Up.
The Mariners blew a 2-run lead in the ninth inning, then they put two guys on at the bottom of the ninth inning. Neither one of them scored, and the result of that is a loss to the Angels yesterday in Cactus League action. The final there was 7-6. Brian Wu saw his second start of the year, and he pitched pretty good, all things considered. He faced 10 batters. He struck out 4, just walked 1 in 2 1/3 innings of work.
We get a chance to watch Brian Wu pitch today against the Angels.
What a year for Brian last year, 15-7. A swing and a miss by Siri for strike 3. Wu with his first strikeout of the afternoon, and there's one away. Check swing, does he go? Yes, he does. Strike 3. So back-to-back strikeouts for Brian Wu. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 called in the outside corner. Paris caught looking. Brian Wu strikes out the side here in the top of the second after the leadoff single.
Swung on a miss, got him. Throws the heater by him, his 4th punch out, and that's the first out here in the 3rd.
Bottom half of the second inning with a swing and a drive deep into the gap in left center field, and it's gone onto the berm. Goodbye baseball. Patrick Wisdom on the first pitch from George Klassen. Parks one out of the berm in left center, and the Mariners have a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of inning number 2. This guy has some kind of pop. Patrick Wisdom. Mariners, Cardinals, and Tampa Bay. The pitch swung on, well hit ball deep down the left field line. Stay fair. It is a fair ball, and it's gone. Stayed fair down the right field line. He's going to love hitting. So Rylan Thomas with a home run, and the Mariners now lead 2-0. For J.P. Crawford, nursing a little bit of a sore shoulder, but he's the DH this afternoon.
That's inside for a ball. It's funny, I was thinking about that yesterday, so J.P. takes the walk.
That's what stands out to the players in the clubhouse. It's just how certain of himself he is.
Drives that to center. J.P.'s going to tag. Here comes the throw. It is cut off, and the Mariners get a run. Cole Emerson, sac fly.
Mariners have a rare night game in Cactus League action. They travel to Scottsdale. It's not too far from Peoria to Scottsdale. They take on the Giants at 6:05 tonight. You can watch that on Mariners
TV. The Kraken have a 5-game winning streak at home. They're going to try to make it 6 in a row tonight. The St. Louis Blues are in town. Seattle is 16-9-5 at home. They are 22-9 overall, and they've gone 27-6-3 when they score at least 3 goals. So we want them to score at least 3 goals because they win most of the time. St. Louis has been struggling. They're 8-17-3 on the year, 22-29-9 overall, and they've been outscored by 50 goals so far this season. The two teams meet tonight for the 3rd time. They met last week in St. Louis. The Blues won that one 5-1. That's at 5 o'clock tonight, streaming on Hulu and also available on ESPN+. Gonzaga men, Gonzaga women, Washington State men, Washington State women, they're all getting ready for postseason action starting tomorrow. But the Huskies are still in the regular season. And the Dogs will host USC tonight at Heck Evanson Pavilion. That's a 7:30 tip-off, and you can watch that tonight on the Big Ten Network. All right, the state tournaments are well underway for Lake Roosevelt. Their season came to an end. They had the 9 a.m. game this morning. Maybe it was because they played at 9 a.m., but Tootle Lake eliminated Lake Roosevelt from the girls' state 2B tournament this morning. The final there was 58-48. Reardon won, so we now know that Brewster will take on Reardon tomorrow at 12:15 in the quarterfinals in the girls' state 2B tournament. In the girls' state 1B tournament, a game that's just about ready to start, Pateras takes on PL at 5:30, 9 o'clock tonight. That's pretty late for a basketball game. Myra Cooley Heartline will take on Lummi Nation. Waterville Mansfield has to wait till tomorrow to find out who they're going to play. Pomeroy and Yakima Tribal are playing a little bit later on today. Chelan scored 25 points in the 4th quarter. Way to go, Goats, and they won in Yakima earlier today. They beat Cascade Christian. The final there was 60-44. Next up for Chelan, number 1 ranked, undefeated Zilla. They will play tomorrow morning, Thursday morning at 10:30 in Yakima. In the Boys State 2B tournament, in a game that's going on while we speak, Okanagan is taking on Mount Vernon Christian. We'll have highlights and the score tomorrow morning and Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Liberty Bell and Adna will do battle at 9 o'clock tonight. And Myra Cooley Heartline is just like Brewster and Waterville Mansfield. They got to wait. Myra Cooley Heartline boys, they are in the state quarterfinals. They have to wait to find out who wins between Columbia Adventist and Wahkiakum. Tune in for tomorrow's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm going to have a lot of sports. Right now, I'm going to go home and take a nap. And those are just some of the games that people are playing.
As we leave you tonight, the Thursday edition of the Wenatchee World hits your mailbox tomorrow. Assignment editor Pete O'Kane has a roundup of what you can expect in the World's pages.
In tomorrow's edition of the Wenatchee World, we have coverage of the East Wenatchee City Council's vote to effectively ban pride banners on street displays. We also have coverage of the annual homeless count, which found fewer homeless than the year before. The caveat there is that they also surveyed fewer people. And then lastly, we have coverage on a Grace City Church pastor who's running for state representative. You can read all that more on WenatcheeWorld.com.
And that will do it for this Wednesday edition of the NCWLIFE Evening News. Remember, if you see news happening, let us know. Email your news tips to news@ncwlife.com or just give us a call at 888-6295. Our channel is also available on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us and have a great night.